anime, but usually when you remember anime actually this good, especially I watched this a long time ago and you rewatch it again, it's because it's so amazing, it's so interesting and grabs your attention, and the concept is pretty simple. It's basically two guys who run a company called the GetBackers. The GetBackers pretty much they do it, get whatever you lose, they get it back. So anything we can get it, 110%, we never fail. Anything you want, anything you have, anything you try to get, we have it. Because they were really bad with money. Nah. Hello, my name is Rachel. Now the story of this anime is basically, it was the title called GetBackers. It's a business kind of thing. That actually two guys who run this small company that anything you need or miss. In fact, if you say lost a memory or lost a key or lost some very dangerous documents, this is the guy to call them. They can do whatever you ask them if you pay them. Of course, sometimes they actually wonder they want to accept this job because some of them is kind of dangerous, some of them outrageous. But it depends how what the client says to them. The fact I can't figure out, should we do this, should we not do this, because this is the right, this is not wrong, I don't know. But the one thing they care about is they get paid. Kind of deep story, it depends what kind of episode you watch. In fact, some episodes is just one content, other episodes is actually 3 or 4 episodes, are actually more than that, because sometimes whatever assignment they get is the versus whoever they against to. Sometimes the person who you get to actually work with them and you have kind of bitter rivalry. Sometimes they want to kill each other because of the certain mission kind of helps unpredict the show what they're trying to do. I love this because you don't know where it goes. I mean, the story is sometimes so fascinating, sometimes not the story itself. His characters are very likable. They have very good bromance. So they love each other pretty much as good friends. And they love this kind of job. So I recommend they watch it. Now our two main characters, Gigi and Ban. Gigi is basically Bash's and Pete. Quite literally, it's almost the same character as Bash because it's fun, likable, but the only difference is he has a really dark past and something that you feel he's not perfect, but he's very flawed. Well, also I love his special ability that actually he's kind of like an eel. In fact, the more nervous you get, the more electricity he gets. But the only thing is, he has a bigger flaw that he has too much power and kind of a little bit like a psychopath or loses himself. Now, Bunny's basically a very nice guy who actually helped Genji because he's his partner. But Bunny has a little bit different. Bunny's more cynical, smart, intelligent, and very calculated. But when your problem is he's too smart of his own good because sometimes he guesses something before he does it and screw himself over because he thought what it was, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's kind of Bunny really is. Bunny's special abilities is 1 second special. That Bunny has 2. One, he actually has the Gajan on Gijin and Goju. It's a special ability that actually illusion. You only have 3 tries every 24 hours. He only uses it once per person. It becomes more than one person because it's almost like a side effect if you use this kind of rules. That's what makes it a little bit more interesting. Why he has a limitation. Also, he has a second power that he can pretty much crush anyone with one arm. Yeah, they don't explain that much why he's that strong and why he's so speed because his mystery is very elusive. You don't know much about him. They try to explain a little, but when you probably didn't enough story to tell about why he's that strong, because that wasn't the main focus. His main focus is kind of Miss Poison, many other characters, but I'm naming 1 or 2. One is Miss Poison because her story is connected to Bond for some reason because she has some maybe curse. I won't go into it. It's too interesting to tell you. Is just watch it. Now Miss Poison is pretty Scarecrow. In other words, Scarecrow is similar to Miss Poison, but a female version. But the fact she's not sick and twisted, she just take jobs at her special chemicals, kill or do something very interesting about her poison. Now you also another character I have to mention especially is Mr. Jackal. Mr. Jackal really I can't explain that much because there's really not much about him you know of. You know he's kind of a psychopath. Not just a normal psychopath, a psychopath who hides knives inside his own body. And he could quite literally kind of like Wolverine, but instead of having 3 knives, he has over hundreds of them stuck in between him. He's one of those characters that he can kill. You want to kill him, but he won't die that easily. He has a limitation what he does, but the only thing is more interesting about this character besides not dying, that you pay him basically for free, you have so much fun. If he doesn't have not much fun, he pretty much says, you have to pay me. This is the reason I love this type of characters. It's just so interesting and unpredictable. You don't know where to be next. I won't talk in other characters because there's so many characters left to explain, but I won't explain that much because you have to see the anime because it's really that good. Now, anything else about the series? Good section is It's everything, the character stories, everything you can't really predict about what could be next. They give them special assignments they could be working with or against with. For example, the first episode you fight Miss Little Poison, later on you had to join Miss Little Poison, but you still have that kind of issues what happened the last time. This fuzzy relationship that you know they gotta kill each other or be friends. It's one of the very complicated things that you don't know where to go next. It's about the characters and doing the assignment. It's one of the two things I love about this anime because it does two things. Develop the characters and do a great story of a situation because you know where you're going next. You have great characters, great development, you also have great situations. Make this anime very, very interesting. Let's go! Now, anything bad about this? The only really bad thing, well, two bad things is only one. That it ended too soon. It has about maybe 49 episodes, 2 seasons, but you see you need now 26 episodes to develop Bond's background. They wanted to tell the story, but they decided not to. I guess they were hoping to have the third season, but then didn't, so that's the sad part. The second reason is you left so many characters without knowing who they are. So that one major reason is the season 2 final fight was a badass match, but you don't really have it. Felt they didn't know what else to do. But one thing really good about that pathetic ending, they make fun of it, so it's kind of balanced in a way. Not that's great, but it's still they know they couldn't do anything better. Really wish they do make a third season. I'm satisfied they at least make an animated movie, but nothing yet who I know of. But it's one of those animes that's just have everything what you want an anime. Great story, great characters, great superpowers they use for a certain reason, not become superheroes, but they just do it for the job. Main characters are very flawed and very likable series that I wonder why it's more popular than ever. They made the third season. You something you really want to make a season. Now, anything else? One more bad thing is the intro. The intro really wasn't that great. But the ending of the final season, it was worth mentioning because it's something that you do have this kind of fuzzy feeling that you know they could have a third season, but you have a great ending. You have this great scenes to see all the characters who the world, where they are, how they stand. That is kind of fun to watch, see all the characters you develop all 2 seasons, and you just enjoy that. My final conclusion of this series is just so fun and so enjoyable. I've never seen something like this, and I probably won't have nothing like that before because it's been a long time seeing dozens of animes, nothing compared to GetBackers. The GetBackers was kind of fun, original idea they have played with who have superpowers, and now we use this. Now we use this company to help other people or certain assignments so we can free ourselves. I love that it's very flawed, very funny, very everything. Something you just enjoy. Now I have to rate this anime. I have to give it an honest 9 out of 10 because I highly recommend to watch this anime. I got nothing else to say. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to subscribe. Series properly. Other than that, this series is pretty fun, enjoyable, and very likable.